Hey, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. How are you, Morgan?
Fred.
Hey, Gabriel. How are you?
All right.
All right. And Madeline, how are you? Madeline Beck?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. All right. Um, just real quick, you have the week 12 HTML forms assignment, and I just want to kind of talk about that a little bit. Um, it's only 2 pages. It does not have to be added to what you're doing with your real estate projects. However, if you wanted to actually add it to your real estate project and then submit that with the form, and what I'm looking for with that week 12 assignment, and that's really what I'm going to be looking at, um, is just being able to enter data, right? My name, email, any other pertinent information that should be going on that form, and you having the JavaScript within the form. And I think some of you have actually done this already. So this should be, if you've already gone through and actually added JavaScript to check whether the fields are empty, um, making sure that the email field is formatted as an email field, with the at sign and .com, stuff like that in there, and making sure that, when I hit submit, it actually does something. Okay. And it could be just taking the information that's there, that the person has added, and just show it up in a little message box. That would be great. You did that, you got 100%. So that's one of the things going forward that needs to be um, in your um, in your projects going forward anyway. So you might as well just get it done for your project. Um, the week after that's another a couple of items for your week 13, which is just adding niceties, animation, sprites, little things like that to kind of spruce up the your website. And that one definitely has to do with your real estate webpage. So take your project that you've done, with your, continue week 11, and just keep adding stuff to that. Because eventually, your final project, your final webpage development, it's going to be that anyway, with all the other stuff accumulated in there. So if you wanted to do that, just keep adding, keep adding to your project, and just make sure that that actually is in there when you submit it. Um, for the week of April 27th, 21st through the 27th, which is 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, what you're going to be going into PHP installation. I've got some videos in there. Definitely go through the videos. And what that is basically taking the information that someone has added on the form, favorites for, let's say they picked a couple of properties on your real estate website. They've added their name, their email address, and stuff like that. And you want to write that to a file. And very simply make sure that it's written to the root of your web page or whoever's running it, so that you're going to create a file, and then you're going to be pulling that information from there. So you have to basically, one, be able to save it, and two, be able to pull it back. And pulling it back basically is just taking it and throwing it onto another web page. You know, it could be, your a contact page where, you're showing the name. Some of you actually have, um, you could even take the date and throw it into the file as well. So you're saving it by date, person's name, maybe a preference or favorite property that they selected. And then like that, when they bring up the page again, so let's say I take it and I delete it from my browser and I do, I double click on that index.html file again, it'll read that file that's already there and then just bring up the person's information. So that's really going to be the next couple of things. And then you've got an exam, April 28th through May 4th. JavaScript, it's going to be on PHP, a little bit on MySQL. We're not doing, you're going to be reviewing MySQL, and you're going to be, probably answering some questions of MySQL. But as far as the projects are concerned, because we don't have a SQL server for you guys to be able to tap into, your projects will not include SQL Server. So they can't. Hence why we're doing PHP to a file. I'm always available for you guys to ask me questions, so please avail yourselves of email or this forum, every Friday. Um, Going forward to the end of class, which ends, I think, May 15th, May 16th. That last week, it's really you guys taking the extra time to finish off your projects. All right, your final web development projects, and then that's pretty much it. So, any questions on any of that stuff? You guys have been doing great, by the way. I'm looking at everything you guys have handed in, everything you've done. You've done amazing. So, definitely kudos to you guys. Any questions at all with anything that's coming up, anything you've done in the past, and any questions at all?
don't really have any questions now.
No? Gabriel?
Um, I don't really know how to frame it. It's because I'm still working on is it 11 or 12? The most recent one. Or the other
11. So you still,
11?
yeah, that one should actually have been just about done. So I think, let me just take a look. Let me just see. That one was due March 21st, and you have, well, that's it. Well, no, it was due April 6th. I always give you an extra week to get those things done. So you
Yeah.
have until this Sunday to actually get that one done. So make sure you get it in there.
Yeah, it's just I've been working on it. I've been going in. It's just
Hmm.
because it's an already established website. So, like, when I watch, like, tutorials to, like, put in the canvas or, like,
Hmm.
implementing Java,
Yes.
they're using like new websites, like new projects, and it's hard to like implement it to what I already have, if that
Gotcha.
makes sense.
Yeah, I mean the thing is with a lot of this other newer stuff, you need a server. You need the web server. So a lot of this stuff, the newer stuff, it's based on libraries that already exists on the server. So it's it's a little more different. Where here, because we don't have a web server, and you're not going to be using a web server for this, so you have to do everything local that has to be acceptable within a browser. I would suggest, I mean, there's some stuff that you could definitely run by calling like frames and things like that. And I'm assuming like a file box and things like that. I'm assuming you're doing that so that when you resize the browser, everything actually gets resized, right? Automatically. Is that what you're working on?
For the
For your browser? If I resize the browser, everything, all the images and all the stuff actually resize so that it fits the browser.
it should be able to. It's more so like the canvas, and then like the HTML canvas, like implementing like some sort of animation is what I'm struggling on.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I mean, there's a lot, again, as you know, there's code out there. And I
Yeah.
think that the Zai book has actually touched on one. There's one where you do a where the cursor moves over an object and then it'll kind of grow. And then when you move off, it kind of shrinks back.
Oh, I did something like that, but I did it in.
That's animation. That's part of
Okay.
animation. Yeah. I mean, as long as I see something like that, you're pretty much good to go.
Oh, okay.
I
Because I
mean,
was trying to do it in Java, but I did it in CSS.
yeah, no. You want to, yeah, if you do it, and that's really where it belongs in CSS. So
Okay.
if yeah, as long as something simple doesn't, it could be some people have like a banner and it's got like a little sentence, scrolling by,
Yeah.
that kind of deal. A simple animation. That's all I'm looking for.
Okay. Because
Doesn't have to be all fancy.
I have the grow and shrink, like when you hover it over.
That's
Okay, it does that.
For
Okay.
me, that's animation. That's actually really good.
Okay. Because I was trying to do more with Java, but I could not figure it
No,
out.
no. Remember, this is JavaScript, not Java.
JavaScript
Yeah.
or
Keep it
JavaScript. Yeah.
correct. Keep it in JavaScript. No, no Java.
Oh, okay.
Because Java's a whole other class. That's a whole other subject, and I could spend a whole semester talking about Java, doing Java stuff. But now, when you're talking about Java, now you're talking about programming. Now you're
Okay.
talking about heavy duty programming, and that's not what this class is about. It's an intro class just to get you guys started on doing simple stuff so that whatever website, and I know some of you have already created websites in the past already, and it shows because some of the stuff that I've been getting has blown me away. But yeah, something decent, something nice, something very basic, something that gets you from not knowing anything to something where, you can actually design a simple website and it's not going to be a big deal for you. Okay? That's where this class is. Just the basics.
Cool.
Madeline,
Yeah, I pretty
anything?
much had similar questions to that.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was really all I had needed answered. So,
Okay, good. Yeah, keep it. It's one of the things I keep saying. Keep it simple. Just satisfy the requirements, satisfy the criteria, and move on. You know? And what's great is that you don't have to be reinventing the wheel constantly, you know? Which is why at the end, I'm hoping that you all are going to end up with a absolutely gorgeous real estate website that you can, somebody needs a web developer to design something pretty cool. And you could say, hey, yeah, I've got something that I did in class and it's pretty neat. And it has PHP. It's got, CSS. It shows a command of at least doing all the basics for web development, so you guys can get that job. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you very much on a Friday for joining us here. And there's nothing else. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
You're
Bye.
very welcome.
Okay.
Bye.